Hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is Lady Cloth U, where I share dressmaking tips and tutorials, show you my original pattern designs as well as how to create them, give you behind the scenes look at my dressmaking and alterations business with a sprinkle of fashion history. If that sounds like something you're into, be sure to tap the subscribe button. Now let's get started. I've made several waist stays over the years, and this is just sort of a brief gallery of some of the ones that I've made and just the variations that I've made of the waist stay. I also have a video basically going into a good bit of detail on what a waist stay is, and definitely be sure to check that out. But the next few clips are just going to be showing you how I created a waist stay for this wedding dress. This is the outside of the wedding dress. You have an idea of what I was working with, and this is the inside. So this is just basically me showing you the mechanisms of what a waist stay involves. This particular type of waist stay, we did cover it in fabric. I did add these belts, and I'm going to be showing you just a quick variation of this design, and just basically going through with you what a really simple, easy to do waist stay can, how that can be achieved. So we're going to assemble our pieces here. I have my elastic. I'm going to use this about 2-inch width elastic, and I'm going to use black because it just comes up better on screen. You can use whatever color you want. You can use whatever width that you want. I would say go somewhere between 2 and 4. These are going to be the fasteners, and these are just your standard bra fasteners you can get in any fabric store. You can go online and you make sure that they match the width of the elastic you're going to use. This is also the casing that I'm going to use to create boning to give the waist stay just a little bit more structure, and this is just the actual boning that I'm going to put in there. So there's not a lot that you need to create a waist stay of this particular type. This is just a simple waist stay that's easy to add into a dress, and it's fairly simple and straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that in half. What you actually want to do is make sure you measure inside of the garment so that when the person is wearing it, it's taut. This one, for just the example of this video, I did it in half. Typically, you want to measure the full waist and then do just a half measurement of that, and even take it in, I would say, 1 inch after that, just to make sure that the stay actually holds the dress in place and definitely has that cinch in motion. So this is me cutting it in half, and I also clipped 2 clips at the end, and that was just to indicate what would be my back. That way I wouldn't get confused. So I did 2 clips at the end, which is going to be my side seams, and just giving you an idea of the placement of where the boning channels are going to be. Typically I do them just a few of them. This one is about 2 inches from what will essentially be the center back. So I usually start there about 2 inches in, and then I cut. You can also decide to wrap your waist stay so that when you open it, if you choose, when you open it, it can be sort of wrapped and it doesn't have to be this exposed boning or the channels. Is totally up to you. So at the side seam, I'm going to go in about 1 inch, and this mark is just to let me know when I'm ready to place it inside the dress where that is going to be. I'm also going to use that to do the spacing for my channeling. For this particular piece, I'm going to do about 1.5 inches spacing per channel, and I'm just doing the markings for that. So now I have all my markings where my boning channels is going to be. That piece right there, it's marked. I ran out of channeling, so if you see that extra sort of white marking, that's not for anything other than the fact I just ran out of extra channels, and I'm just going to leave it for the sake of this video. But obviously you would fill each one so that they were symmetrical. So now I'm going to take this to my machine and basically just sew this these channels down. You want to make sure you leave an opening, and that way it's easy for you to insert your boning. So this is what it looks like. I have all my channels that I'm going to have on this sewn down. I have my side seams marked off. So now I'm just going to add the fastening part, and you just usually slip that right in there, and you're going to use some pins to keep it in place, and maybe even a little bit of hand basting to make sure that everything stays in place. And you're going to repeat the same thing for the back fastening piece. Just make sure that it is facing down. That way when it's time for you to sew it on, everything closes properly. So now I have both my pieces pinned down, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and just reinforce them with some stitches. So this is what just a simple basic waistday looks like. I've got all my pieces put together. So now we're ready for what's essentially the final step, and that's adding the boning. And you just want to make sure that you add it for each channel. And now we're ready to place it in our dress. So here we have a dress here, one of my previous designs, and I'm just going to basically show you how I put it in the wedding dress, how I do it in this dress. So first you want to open it up to those side seams, and you're going to use a seam ripper to get that open. And I measured about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch down, and I made that marking so it wasn't on the waist, it was just a little bit above. And then I used the measurement of what my waistday width was, and I opened that up. You want to make sure you reinforce that so it doesn't continue to open. And I essentially created a slit on the side seams. I did the same thing to the other side and created that slit opening so that I can insert my waistday pieces. So I have my piece. I'm going to go in and put one on one side, and you're going to slide it in there and make sure it matches up with that initial marking that you created. And typically you're going to go turn the dress inside out, and you're going to close that up all together. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Make sure that the snaps correspond. You don't want to sew anything upside down or backwards. I just tucked that in a little bit more. Again, that wasn't my original placement. That was pretty much because I ran out of channeling, but you're going to keep it at the markings that you made. Again, for this to work properly, it has to be a little bit shorter than the actual width of the back. And this is what it looks like when it was completed in a wedding dress. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, make like a lady.